Greetings, Edge Runners, and welcome to another episode of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm Cobalt Thorium. We are headed to the afterlife, but in this episode, I think we're actually going to do lore. Oh no. Before I do that, I want to level up the character a little bit. I've been looking at stats, and I've decided I want to increase reflexes. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go in here, and then handguns. We're going to be using handguns a lot more, I think. I just really like how they feel. They're very fun to use. So, I think I'm going to grab some of these other level ups here. Maybe Desperado. And maybe Rio Bravo. And all of these are pretty good. I'm actually a little bit surprised that perk points don't level up as much as as they do. But we're gonna grab a couple of these. Should I max them out? Maybe we should go up one more. Make it interesting. Unlock some more of this stuff. So 7, and we are at 5. So we'd have to go up 2. I'm not that concerned about reload time. Yeah, this is good for now. We'll save the rest. But now, well, let's see if there's any like animation or anything. Nope. Alright, now on to the lore. So, let's do messages first. Doesn't look like there's anything new. Nothing new. Bartmus Collective does freak me out. Oh, wrong thing. Journal. So, we have the heist. Head to the afterlife. There's only one door you gotta open in Night City, and that's the door to the afterlife. Once you cross into that world, peeps will step aside for you everywhere. Dex couldn't have chosen a better place to pregame before the heist, am I right? Afterlife's a sign for us, Chica. Okay, so that's gotta be Jamie there talking. We got a psycho killer. Looks like Regina wants to turn you into a one-woman army in the fight against cyberpsychosis. Understandable, seeing as most of our heroic badges seem to vanish from the scene at the mention of cyberpsycho. One thing I don't get, why does she want them alive? Okay, so this is that fighting one. We've pretty much gone over all this. So the gig. Whenever we go see Wakoko and walk into that pachinko salon of hers, I get this weird like tingling feeling on the back of my neck. I don't know, V. She's all kinds of weird. Anyway, she promised a special reward for this job with Sandra Dorset. All we have to do is go see her in the on Jig Street. I actually am very interested in this now. The main jobs, I do worry if we're not doing side quests. I do worry we're going to be under-leveled. So there's that. And so doing this gig might be the best move. Alright. So now we got shards and tarot, which I can't click. Action blocked. Alright, let's do the shards. So we have 14 articles. Oop. Cyberware controversy in football. Never before in a single night has a crowd snapped so abruptly and so frequently between euphoric cheers and deafening silences. The most recent match between the NC Corsairs and the San Diego Shredders ended in an overwhelming victory for Night City. But it was another team that stole the spotlight. Trauma Team paramedics airlifted out a record 7 players during the game due to potentially life-threatening injuries. 3 still remain in stable but critical condition. The game's unusual spike in injuries was the result of a months-long feud between the two franchises that had hit a boiling point. Shredder's head coach Darnell Irving has repeatedly accused the Corsairs of breaking league rules by allowing players to equip military-grade cyberware. Corsairs organization representatives have refuted the allegations, claiming the rules contain no such clear-cut cyberware guidelines. Night City's head coach even went so far as to say that San Diego would be wise to make sure that they have the same upgrades instead of crying like babies whenever they get their asses kicked. What he didn't mention, however, is that the NC Corsairs have a sponsorship deal with Night Corp, granting them exclusive rights to equipment designed in Night Corp's top secret football sciences lab. Salt in the wound. Of course, unpersuaded, the San Diego faithful have argued to the league that the use of military-grade technology is damaging to the game's integrity and future. Football analysts and commentators, on the other hand, have dismissed the controversy, saying that the arms race mentality has always been pervasive in sports. That case in point, the 2064 Night City Marathon, a record-setting, uncontested victory. Austrian runner Dominique Brome blazed past favorites from the Czech Republic and France because of Vienna's close partnership with Zetatech. Okay. The Mox. It's one of those stories that is either very simple or very complicated, depending on who you ask. For Janice, it was a mix of both. The Mox came to exist because it had to. We didn't have a soul in our corner. No one to make sure sweet justice was on our side. So we took matters into our own hands. The Mox is composed of people who, if any of them disappeared from the streets tomorrow, you might never even notice. Sex workers, penniless artists, aimless rebels, and the restless souls who weren't dealt a fair hand. Today, the Mox is thriving, as demonstrated by the booming biz of Lizzie's Bar. Lizzie's is renowned for being arguably the best braindance club in Night City. Corporate suits, gangoons, pop stars, and local alike all gather at Lizzie's to kick back and have a drink, and sip the most beautifully scrolled and tuned BDs you've ever experienced. Most customers, however, are oblivious to the fact that the club is gang-owned and operated. That the Mox are in charge, watching after their own, just like Lizzie's of legend once did. Okay, so the Mox is a gang, I guess? Know the story? Liz used to work here back when it was a typical dive with a stripper pole. Janice proudly explained she took care of the girls, made sure the eddies were falling into the pockets and their teeth weren't falling out to the curb. Like this one time, this fucker, editor's note, referring to a Tiger Claws gang member, was having too much fun with one of the girls, and Lizzie just couldn't stomach it anymore. The story is she deprived the worm of his little tiger balls so quickly and nasty that it took them 2 days to clean up all the blood and puke spatter. Gross. Of course, the Claws found out fast, and they flatlined her in a flash. But everyone that she impacted in some way, they were still around. They came together and fought back. Well, you already know the rest. Well, if you're putting in annotations like pause and stuff like that, maybe this would have been best read, not written. All right. A Family of Empire. Oh my God, some of these, they're all really long. It would be a lot better if they condensed some of this stuff, because there's so much lore. Excuse me. The legacy of Arasaka needs no introduction. The Arasaka Corporation is one of the world's most powerful, with offices located in every major metropolis across the globe. For years, it has been behind the proverbial wheel of our planet's economy and society. The history of Arasaka and Night City is deserving of its own article, but suffice it to say, the media industry in our city follows the family behind the megacorp as closely as they do share prices. The story of Arasaka family is one of empire, a true dynasty under the rule of patriarch Saburo Arasaka. Rumors of the great Saburo's retirement and cession of the company control, as well as its closely guarded secrets to his daughter Hanaku and son Yori, have come and passed in recent years. But the time has come where such rumors may finally contain a grain of truth. Our sources report that Yori Arasaka is currently in Night City, but not for a social call. And yet, if Yori is strategizing a move to the throne, what of Hanaku? Experts who follow the family closely unanimously agree that due to ideological differences between the siblings, Hanaku will likely cement herself as the true heir to the immense fortune and power of the Arasaka family. However, reality is hardly so predictable. Familial power dynamics can shift in an instant. For example, what would happen if Hanaka fell from favor at a time when Yori had his father's ear? What scenario might cause such a fall? No family is without secrets, and the Arasakas are no exception. After all, what appears first as heaven appears second as hell. Japanese proverb. Alright. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, there's so much here. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh man. Oh my god. This is too much. This is too much. CD Projekt Red. Too much. Okay. Let's mix it up a little bit here. So we did a couple of what are these? Articles? Let's finish off this leaflet. The foodie gauge to Night City. I think I'm going to have to do this over multiple episodes, and I'm going to space them out. I'm not going to do them all at once. So. The world traveler in Night City is faced with a dilemma. Enjoy the local cuisine, or save their gut the trouble. If you don't own a trauma team policy, you're better off sticking to the tried and tested chains and exclusive restaurants. But if you do, Night City's full of risk that packs a lot of reward. Here's our risk-reward breakdown of Night City's good eats. For the cautious customer, Blue. A gourmet dining experience with some of the highest accolades and richest portfolios in the city. If you're after high quality, locally sourced ingredients, Blue is the place for you. Among its marquee dishes are an authentic caviar, oysters, and imported prosecco. The alabaster white interior, adorned with minimalist decor, is perfect for a relaxing night out following a day of hustle and bustle. Pepper and Spice, a unique locale on the culinary map of Night City. This eatery was founded by renowned travel icon Tony Halik. It stands apart from the competition thanks to its diverse menu of transcontinental fusion dishes, most of which are offered at surprisingly reasonable prices. Caribbean, Polish, Kenyan, it's all there. Just not in the combinations you've ever seen before. The crowd favorite, Halik's own vanilla dumplings. Okay, for the gutsy gourmand, Buck a Slice. According to urban legend, The NCPD has an entire file on this mysterious deaths of homeless people whose last meal was pizza from Buck a Slice. Okay, interesting. True or not, bargain seekers living on a Eurodollar a lunch budget should still be prepared for gastrointestinal distress. Worth the risk? Only if you want a greasy slice of authentic Night City flavor. This is not selling it for me. This sounds gross. Plus, their secret recipe, chili spurt. God, chili spurt. Scopperoni. It's unlike anything you've ever tasted. But only available on special request. You should never put spurt in the name of any food. That's just nasty. Roulai. At Roulai, you find all of the 3 Ps: potent, punchy, and pungent. Every visit to this local favorite is like playing a game of Chinese roulette. Regulars at Roulai claim you're just as likely to get bearable egg rolls as halfway decent ragoons as you are tainted tofu or Szechuan salmonella. You've been warned. Okay, this was hilarious. We need more lore like this and less of this dry, nasty, boring articles. Alright, so we finished off our leaflets, unfortunately. So we're probably not going to get a bunch more funny stuff. Let's try Buddhism and Cyberware, a perspective. Under other. Interviewer. For most of us, the precepts of Buddhism seem baffling, to say the least. How would you explain to the average Night City citizen why Bhikkhu? Why Bhikkhu, I'm just going to say Bhikkhu, I'm going to Americanize it, whatever, Bhikkhu, such as yourself, are against implanting cybernetic technologies in their bodies. Monk. It's not that we're against them per se. Every person has the right to make their choices with their own body, so long as those choices don't harm another. Although Bhikkhu do abide by stricter rules, such as abstaining from cyberware, in order to achieve enlightenment. Interviewer. Then what does your hesitation stem from? How do cybernetics affect your pursuit of enlightenment? Among other things, it's their vague, often fluid status. For lack of a better word, ask yourself, what is an implant? Is it part of your body? An impersonal object? You're asking me? I suppose I'd say it depends. Precisely. Bhikkhu limit their possessions to a robe, an umbrella, and a bowl for alms. Everything else is a distraction that hinders his or her release from the world's suffering. Let's say, for example, that a synthetic hand is just that, a hand, a part of your body. But what if it has a watch installed on it? A blade? Right. Well, I think I understand. Where's the line drawn is not completely clear. Possessions, especially such intimate ones, are distractions that muddy the mind, that pull it further from inner peace. I believe the phenomenon of cyberpsychosis is proof enough of this. All right, that was kind of interesting. We'll do another other. Man, these things are building up probably faster than I'm going to be able to read them. They really need to cut down on this lore. I mean, it's interesting, but they really need to tailor it to stuff that's, I don't know, that's going to help with the game, I guess. That's going to help with understanding the world from a context of what we're going to see within this campaign. Otherwise, I mean, You could have the same amount, but you'd have to amplify the number of quests and have the lore associated with those quests, and enrich those quests. That way players aren't overwhelmed with stuff that you're not necessarily sure if it's relevant to the current like objectives and stuff. You're risking overwhelming them. Anyway, let's do Cyberpunk 2020 rulebook. It doesn't matter how well you do something, as long as you look good doing it. If you're gonna blow it, make sure you look like you planned it that way. Normally, clothes and looks don't matter in an adventure. In this world, having a leather armor jacket and mirror shades is a serious consideration. Think dangerous, be dangerous. Think weak, be weak. Never walk into a room when you can stride in. Never drive slow when you can drive fast. Throw yourself up against danger and take it head on. Never play it safe. Stay committed to the edge. Okay, so this is what they mean probably by, not edgelords, edge runners, right. Although they clearly ripped that term off from Blade Runners, blades having an edge, or sometimes even being called an edge. But anyway, can cyberpsychosis be cured? Opinions on that question are divided. Only a few years ago, so-called brain dance therapy was used across the entire country on a mass scale, with the aim of bringing the sick back from the point of no return. The patient would be placed on a special chair and connected to a device that would deactivate all implants. Then electrodes would be attached, inducing the patient into a coma-like brain dance session. This was then followed up by medicine, psychosurgery, and the aversion therapy. The overall treatment was intended to sever the patient's neurological connections and tie them back together so that the cyberpsycho could return to society. Once the therapy was concluded, no symptoms of cyberpsychosis were detected, as well as the patient's former personality. But don't worry, nowadays other methods are used. At least that's what they tell us. So it seems like their personality was destroyed, their soul was destroyed when the cyber implants were removed, but cyberpsychosis was cured. Interesting. We'll do one more, and then I think I'll wrap up this episode because this is getting pretty dry. let's just face it. All right, creditor. This one's short, so we'll do two. Hey, got a plan to visit. Gotta pay a little visit to another chum who thinks he's too smart to pay back his eds with interest. Start off right with a good whack to the jaw, and if he stands his ground, do a full restock of his store. You'll get 10% of whatever you grab. Very poorly written, but I understand sort of why. Treatment plan. For maximum muscle gain, I'd say muscle bustle, 100% guaranteed to work. Though it does come with a whole host of side effects. Liver cirrhosis, high blood pressure, low libido, erectile dysfunction, plus periodic rage attacks. The supplement is administered IM. That's not IV? What is IM? Intramuscular? Every 6 hours. If you're interested, please give us a call. Okay. That one was short too, so let's do one more. Ben Azaria. We're at Blake's. Well, actually, let's change this. Let's make Sasquatch that voice. We're at Blake's. And these voices are not... They're too similar. Ben is going to be a feminine. Sorry. We're at We're at Blake's. And? What the fuck are you, God, these voices are terrible. We're at Blake's. And? WTF you bothering me for? 'Cause we're here. F off. Here, they got an ingredient for juice. Lidocaine. Lidocaine. You effing piss brains. Might come in handy. Then take it. Should we ask Blake first? 'Cause it's like his. Ask your dick if it's got balls. Okay, so Blake was part of that, so we must have gotten this from in there. Sorry about the voices. It's a little bit more difficult when you don't really have context. I kind of want to make both these guys kind of masculine. I mean, Sasquatch should be masculine, but let's do one more. Blake Croyle and Tim. Got the Eddies, man. On your way. Got anything spicy for us to start with? Beat down? Curb stomp? You're just watching for now. Look tough. Guard me. Sounds like a snooze job. Occasionally pop a knee. Or deal with somebody's wife, husband, kid, whatever. Nothing too complicated. Now that's more interesting. Should have started with that. With a smiley emoji. Oh boy. Well, whatever. I think that's going to be it for lore building this time. We'll have to do more later on, but I am definitely building these up faster than we are completing them, which is bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you have, please leave a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.